And that's great. So
Thank you.
you've been through the getting approved of and all that
I
stuff?
have.
That happened in my absence, because I missed the last two meetings, but I'm glad that you're here. Okay. Approval of the last month's minutes. Where are they? So I'll take a look at them, see what we think. Yeah. Okay. Where it says, Dan Dodge said the Audubon Society is interested in the lower garden.
It should be flower.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, well, one's lower and one's upper, which is,
It should be flower, sorry about that.
okay, Audubon is spelled wrong the second time too.
Yeah.
Where Dan Dodge also stated it's Dubon.
So it's
That's in John
AUDUBON, correct? Okay, got it.
And I have a question on the first paragraph, because I didn't talk about trees that needed to come down. We talked about replacement, we had that list of all the trees, and we were talking about replacing trees. And this says I talked about taking them down, a budget.
It's not.
Oh, it's not. I don't hear it.
So how would you amend that sentence?
So it's a budget to see what trees need to be replaced.
No, what we could spend, that's what a budget, what we could spend on replacing trees,
Okay, so.
not
what trees-
cutting them down.
No, that's what I'm saying. I said, so instead of that, it would be see what trees need to be replaced.
Right, they've already been removed. There was a list we got, and you included it in this month
Yes, I do.
of trees that had already been removed. And that's what we were discussing.
What trees need to, not to come down first, but from, or.
To be replaced, yeah.
Replaced.
So she put a budget to see what trees need to be replaced.
That
Yeah,
sounds good, yeah.
Okay, I'll take that other sentence out.
does everybody have that in there?
Yeah. What was decided about the monarch butterfly being extinct?
Thank you.
What was meant in that sentence?
I'm sorry, Linda, I can't hear you.
Under Alice McCoy, where it says that monarch butterfly is extinct,
It's extinct, yeah.
it's not extinct.
Right.
Not extinct.
It's endangered.
So-
No, it's not extinct. I've got them in my yard.
I don't understand the whole sentence. Is extinct and Crescent City now was a monarch butterfly.
Endangered in place of extinct, and is instead of was.
Has become. It's kind of what it's supposed to mean, has
Yeah.
become.
Okay, that's nice.
Has become.
Acknowledges that
Has become.
thing.
Does that sound right, Alice? Has become?
Has become Monarch City Butterfly, Monarch Butterfly City. So it's not
Oh, okay.
extinct?
No.
Established a Monarch Butterfly.
And now has become.
And Crescent City now has become, okay.
Is that everything? Anybody say anything else?
I didn't see it.
There was another one, the first paragraph, the last sentence about where the trees are. It said the one at Park and Eucalyptus has a big left off. And looks to be in pretty bad shape. Do you mean limb?
Oh, there, yeah.
Oh, then.
And then,
I get a picture of that.
let's see. Okay, got it.
The third tree is on Magnolia,
But we didn't say where, did we?
come on,
On Magnolia.
is over there.
And East Grand Rondo.
And East Grand Rondo.
Okay. Okay. Anybody want to move to approve these minutes
With corrections,
as amended?
I wanna move to, approve the minutes with corrections for April 25th, 2024.
Second? Second.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Who's in favor? Yeah. All right, one thing before we start, because I'm not sure Mr. Rod is able to stay here, but I want to really sincerely thank you for putting the tree ordinance in with the utility bill.
Oh,
Because we've talked about that, and it certainly, nobody has an excuse to say, I didn't know. Now, so that was really nice to see that in the bill, yeah.
I remember seeing that in the bill.
You didn't.
I didn't think there's a piece on the bottom that says that you have to have a permit to cut down a tree. And that's what I was gonna,
the whole back of the insert
Yeah,
was the ordinance.
yeah,
Actually, it was a section of the code.
anyway, thank you very much. Okay, we welcome Rhonda. Do I guess want to speak, or you're just here to participate from the audience? Dan and Alice?
Oh, I'm sure there'll be a time that we'll want to get up.
Okay, you're gonna, to a point.
Yes.
Okay.
indeed.
Very good. The next item is the summer hours. Typically, we have not met in June, July, and August, in my memory. With all the things going on, does anybody want to suggest that we do, or that we make allowances for vacations, or what?
I think we should meet in summer. There's a lot going on. There's a grant that's supposed to be June or July, right?
Yeah.
I think we should say that.
Okay,
Yeah, that's fine.
sounds like everybody's good with that. Do we need to vote on that, Karen?
no,
Okay.
because it says that you meet every once a month anyway, so it's not like, but last year you didn't meet in July and August, so that's why there was a discussion.
Okay, so we will next meet, whatever
In June.
that date is, in June.
Yep.
All righty, tree plan review, it says here.
Mhm. Everybody got a copy of the tree
Yeah,
plan?
here.
No, you can say, there's no changes, as if everybody agrees to everything that's on it, or we can go page by page.
Yeah,
Or, not sure if there's any changes anybody wants on it.
yeah. It seems like we've been over this a lot.
Yeah, and you can say no changes on it if you'd like.
Yeah, the ordinance requires the commission to adopt a tree plan every year.
Yeah,
So the tree board traditionally looks it over. Last year, you had no changes. You just recommended it as, the year before, I think we made a few changes, but last year you said
yeah,
approve
I
it as
remember
a
we had a workshop
commission vote.
for that. Okay, okay, so we don't need to vote on anything, do we?
Yes, I will need to vote if you don't want to make any changes.
This is the plan for 23-24.
Well, we would change the dates, but
The dates would be changed. This is the plan that you're running on right now,
And next one will be for 24-25.
24, 25 for this
Okay.
thing.
Okay, gotcha. All right, anybody have any concerns?
Well, I kind of read it a couple days ago, so I don't remember it exactly, but did we talk about in this plan, any replacements? Or is that,
That's it. I believe it's in there. We can go page by page just so that you,
okay, that'd be good.
if you want.
Because there's Rhonda's new.
Yeah, I
She might have
sat her down
questions.
last week and we met last week and we went over some stuff, so that's what we, you know, so.
Yeah, we have gotten rid of some things.
Yeah, so it's up to you guys, however you guys wanna do it. It's only 8 pages, so.
you could also have time you want, you
Yes.
kind of introduced it today, you could talk a little bit, take it back and review it. And if you want to bring back potential changes to discuss and
Yeah.
vote on next month,
That
I
sounds
think
good.
that's a good idea.
we don't bring it to the commission.
So
We
September.
we adopt it with the budget, so it'll be September.
Okay.
So you've got a few months to consider any changes you may want to propose.
Okay, thank you.
That's a, yeah, usually you don't have meetings June, July, June, July and August, so we had to get this in there today, but now you have meetings. So we can actually, I do not, sorry.
Okay. All righty, thank you for giving us a fresh copy of that tree plan. Well, moving right along, we are here at the discussion on flower gardens. And I, perhaps because I haven't been here for 2 months, I'm a little confused about, are we discussing 2 separate gardens?
No, just a one.
I mean, the monarch garden and the one that you
It's
did,
the same garden.
same garden, just one garden?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes,
And native.
the native, yeah.
and it's under the auspices of the city and the monarch project,
Mhm.
so to speak?
And Ottawa.
Okay,
And the other one's the
and this is a picture of a proposed plan.
of the proposed.
Does everybody have that?
Uh-huh.
Do you have one of that?
Mhm.
Okay, Roger's got one.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you look at it, we, went and talked with, gentleman that was here,
Sure.
Sean, and his father, Kevin. So we went and talked to him,
He was here 2 weeks ago.
and they were, very helpful for us. Why is this not letting me?
It's coming up.
Okay. Well, anyway, they were very helpful. Liz and I went and visited them. And they talked our ear off. We got there, I think, about 10 o'clock, and we didn't get back until almost 5. So they helped us with this whole design. I think you guys got a copy of it with your thing, with your emails.
I couldn't read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Show you, and I picked out the different flowers that. I'm gonna really need this copy. It's okay. Anyway, so on these, I know Jean and you had some issues with seeing what some of them were. The Larabi, I know I'm saying
You
it
can read
wrong.
that one.
These ones are not native, but they're to fill in the gaps. This is like, so, cause it's like you can keep planting different colors of them. Okay, the firebush is that kind of, that type of flower. It actually looks very pretty when you're looking at it. This is a native,
That's up here.
as well as butterfly. Liz, correct me if I'm wrong on these, okay?
This is the word.
It looks like Kendall. I guess it's not.
This is the firebush, yeah.
My firebushes, blooms are orange and yellow.
There's different colors, so this is just, I just pulled it off the internet, whatever color, but there are different colors.
Okay.
This is the swamp milkweed that they were talking about. This one doesn't give off,
Where is it in the plan,
okay, so
Right.
you will see the very top, right here, where it's all blank, and down below, where there's
Where there's
nothing,
no letters?
where there's no letters in it at all, because this is a sensitive plant. And this is where these two, this should go on each one side of these. So it's on the top and on the bottom.
Can I speak now, or do I wait till you're done?
The regular native milkweed is yellow.
Yes,
That looks pink.
it's actually purple. There's, if you wanna wait till I'm done, you can, because I'm almost done, I only got a couple of pictures.
So I'm still puzzled on the location. It's to the right of the fire bush?
Up
I
at
can
the
read
top,
Fire bush, okay.
right, yes,
To the right of
It's
the
next-
fire bush.
yes, and then on the bottom, next to
And
the
below
clothes jar.
is Next to the cookie, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so these pictures I just grabbed off the internet, they can be different colors, they can be anything. But we were told that all of these will attract butterflies and birds.
So kill them.
No, these,
Yes, they will.
Well,
okay, am I wrong, Liz? They won't kill them, because they made sure that when they did it, the swamp milkweed was,
Those are questions that we asked them and
and they said,
they never
yes.
mentioned that it would
Did
be
you
any
ask?
danger.
We talked to the two, one of the guys that was here, Kevin, and his father, Sean and his father from his
Kevin.
What are they? I mean, what are their credentials?
Oh, I didn't ask them that.
You're saying the milkweed will kill butterflies?
The swamp.
There's an issue.
There's a parasite that's being transmitted from milkweed to milkweed, and it causes the monarch larva to be deformed when it's born.
The only one that is acceptable is the native milkweed, not the tropical, not the swamp. I don't care what this gentleman said, that is what my
Okay,
research
okay,
has
let me,
told me.
need a,
Yeah, there's a orangey yellow milkweed.
Remember the kid that spoke? The kid that spoke, you can show.
And it does a wonderful thing, it sells seeds, it comes up all over the place, but I don't think that.
Is that it right there?
the types would do that.
But it has to be a native
Yeah.
milkweed, and there was one other plant that was
that's why I
not
typed
native.
in native
Right.
milk.
This, I Googled it and it says native swamp milkweed is beneficial to butterflies and is a popular choice for butterfly gardens. So it's
And that's what
native
it was
swamp.
on IFAS too, on the, but,
I don't care what you say.
okay,
Saying, it
Well,
told
we
me,
don't-
my monarch research said, do not use the swamp milkweed nor the tropical milkweed, that it has to be native. And the other plant you mentioned that was not a native should not be put in a native garden.
The
Filaribi,
variety. Agapanthus, we haven't got into that one yet.
all right,
Well, there's an easy solution to the milkweed question, is you get the genus and species that's acceptable to the monarch and discard the others, no matter what the common names are, common names are very confusing. So some people may be calling native milkweed swamp milkweed. So,
No, they're two, they're the yellow.
They're two different things.
yeah,
Commonly understood.
there may be some confusion, that's why you want genus and species.
So we'll have to get the genus, the exact,
Does the swamp require a swampy setting? Does
No.
it need more water or something? I don't know.
they didn't say that at all. This is, the East Palaca, holly, and it would be H underlined with an M.
Is that what's in the middle?
Yeah, anywhere that says H-M,
I can't hear that.
H-M,
These, okay,
like these three right here.
okay.
I guess there's three.
But that becomes a big tree.
no, you can cut it down to size, like it can be,
Yeah.
there's miniature ones that you can use. But yes, we,
Yeah, I've got one in my front yard if you want to come see what it likes to do. It makes a lot of limbs and it grows for the sun.
okay, because that's not what he told us, like,
Is that the agapanthus?
yep. The agapanthus is another,
And that is in this picture, there's agapanthus.
you haven't located.
Here,
it
is
is,
that all? No,
Just
it
the design.
merges into the right, the other here.
yeah,
It's a beautiful flower, but I don't know literally, how long it blooms. Mine is just
Okay.
blooming now, and it will finish in 2 weeks, and it will not bloom again until next late May.
okay, he
So
did tell us
It's a
that,
big investment for a short bloom.
right, but he did tell us that most of these flowers, they're different seasons.
Yeah,
So, well,
well,
one of them's not blooming, the other one is blooming, and so there's
Yeah.
constantly a color
yeah.
in the, in the kidney, there's constantly a color. So that,
Fire should
you
bloom
know,
all year round, well,
so this is, the spider lily.
anyway,
What is the bee? There's a bee
yeah.
circle, or like it's a tree, and one outside of this garden that's a bee.
There are 3 big bees. What are they?
Do you remember, Liz?
No,
I don't either.
There's not really.
he said he'll come over and talk to us, so
Maybe
it's
it's
no
down
big.
here on the right.
He
You
said
can't
he'll
read
come
any of that.
and talk to us about this.
Well, yeah, we just wanna
No,
look at it, say.
that hasn't been decided.
And that's just a recommendation. You guys,
Yes.
if you wanna throw it in the trash, it's up to you. It's just, these folks, I've known them for decades, and they do a beautiful job. They have the most attractive shop and landscaping in their home and shop and downtown uses I've ever seen.
And a downtown garden, right there
Downtown
to their
garden, yeah.
building.
Yeah, it's
So-
really beautiful.
They, I see their talent in their works, and so, but we can take it or leave it. We redesign from scratch and do whatever you like.
Whatever you guys decide.
Are they doing it free?
We're trying to,
Yes,
Look, I know-
everything they're doing is free.
Just advice.
What are these right here? The same bees. They're under.
I'm not sure what
We
that
can do
is.
whatever we want, they were just feeling the kidney to
Yeah,
give us an
this is-
idea how it will look, so it's up to us.
Liz, yours looks darker. Can we see what this says right
I
here?
just went over my pen.
I find it absolutely
Something with
maddening
passion.
that this committee is submitted a little piece of paper that we can't even read it or look at it. I'm just, I don't see any reason to this. I really don't.
They just
I
want
did
to,
not read it. Now, yours is good, but this is a piece of nothing.
She just traced
What do you
over.
think?
I just
So
want
I would like to
I can
suggest
see
that
what's,
you do them over,
I just
so we
said,
can read them. Everybody's scribbling names all over the place, because nobody can read them.
he's gonna send us
It's not
a
fair,
record.
it's not right, and it should be corrected.
I just have a question, Liz, because you were there. Is this is Passion Vine here, I think.
I don't
You
know,
that,
he
okay.
is making everything for us. They just gave us this so we could bring it over and show you the shape of the kidney, an idea.
Because it's like
Yeah, he said whatever
interspersed
you
in
want, you go
design.
in there, but he said those are native,
Just giving you an idea, this is not written in stone, we can put whatever we want. Just giving you an idea that a kidney shape will be best to do the grounds
Yeah.
instead of a straight line, and then he just started filling the kidney shape. But they said they would come back and talk to us about it. So if you prefer to have them in person,
Well,
we can have them,
I feel like this is specific to here, and I'm not sure where you're talking about doing it. At this
well, that's
point.
still up in the air, but.
And two, I remember you saying, Karen, that you really wanted a path around, and it would be handicapped accessible.
Well, with this design, you wouldn't need that. With this design, you would not need that, because it'll be right up on the path.
On
And
what?
then,
on the path,
on the path,
will be on the
What path?
trail where you walk the dogs.
Lake Stella, it'd be Lake Stella Park by the bird watch.
Yeah, it's already
in front of the
flag
flag
line.
line, but across the.
Okay, I personally don't think that's the ideal spot. I think it's got a lot of problems, but when was that decided?
It wasn't, you just, everything is up in, everything is up in the air.
Hypothetical?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
hypothetical,
Yeah.
it's hypothetical, we don't even have to do it at all, it
Is
doesn't
it
matter.
right on, Alice?
Well, hypothetically, here's what I
Is
think.
it on?
I think that you should give us a list, that we can't read these little flowers. Give us a list of what Sean suggested that would be good for this size and this this garden.
Okay.
And then we, as a garden committee, can go over those flowers with the master gardeners and find out if that's what we want.
Ma'am,
Like, what's her name here, Pat said, that one plant only blooms for 1 or 2 weeks. So, I mean, we might wanna rethink what some of these are, but if I had a list of what they are, we can look them up.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
As a lifelong designer, it's very hard to design anything for anybody that you don't know exactly what it's going to be. If we are going to do it in that space near the bird stand, and it already has concrete there for your walkways and everything, then we need to give that information to the landscape designer and let him then take that information and come back with a layout that is applicable to that design. Because this kidney shape, he may involve it somehow in it, but if he doesn't know the walkways and the space he's dealing with and a tree and a picnic table, he's not going to be able to give you the right information. And
We
so-
had photos, we took photos of the park and all these areas.
And they also
And they
brought it up
went
on
Google Map, and they went right.
And they
down
went
the
right
park.
in.
Okay, so
So-
I wasn't able to discern what that kidney shaped thing is that you're talking about. But he needs to take that Google map or whatever and place it for you where he's suggesting it be in that location. Because I had envisioned that we would have plants more on each side of the walkways and stuff so that you walk through it. But he's the landscape designer and he needs to understand. So if you're saying he had that information,
He had the walkway, what he did was he pulled it down, and then we went off of what was said for our, from our planner, and he went with that, and, no, I can't find it.
I mean, did he show you a map of where the kidney shaped thing is supposed
It's
to
gonna
be
be-
placed?
Yes,
So you know where it is? Is it near?
It's towards the front.
Is it what?
It's towards the front of the park,
So-
not by the RV, the bird watch tower, it's on the other side,
yes,
towards the street, in between those, concrete big old light poles, the cement poles,
Right,
it's gonna be off of
so
that
it's not gonna be down where if you were
in the
in a
wetland.
wheelchair, you would be going through it, because
no,
that's not an area that is wheelchair accessible.
no, you will not be going through it at all, you'll be walking beside it. But they went on with what, our planner had said about, no, I can't find it. You all have a copy of it, I believe.
It's just kind of a different vision than I have, so. I just wondered if he had all the information when he did it, so.
I know you don't want to hear from me anymore, but I have a butterfly garden that's mainly native plants. And I went and got dwarf firebush because undwarf wouldn't grow so tall, so fast. The dwarf firebush in one season grows to be 5 feet tall. And it requires a lot of pruning, because if you don't prune it in the fall, then it's gonna continue growing the next season. Holly, they're great plants, but they, if that's on the back side or even the middle of something, you're not gonna see the whole thing at one look. And I sincerely invite each and every one of you to come to my house. Right now, it's kind of at its peak blooming, and look at things and get a feel for how tall they grow. And also know that I water my garden twice a week, unless it rains, which never does. But, it's gonna need water, it's gonna need pruning, it's gonna need weeding, even heavily mulched, it's gonna need weeding. So those are serious factors to consider before, we commit to anything. And I really wish you'd come see it, I'm real pleased with it right now. Yeah. And I have a lot of things that bloom all summer and some even in the winter. They just don't know when to quit. That firebush, for example, that's firecracker is a real great bloomer. Okay, Dan wants to speak.
Yes, Dan Dodge from the Audubon Society. And I just want to say that I think this is a good beginning. At least we have a plan. Some of us couldn't read it, but as indicated, it's going to be redistributed where we can read it and with a key with what his selections are so we can coordinate. Now from this, it was also further stated that the consideration of Lake Stella by the bird viewing area was in consideration, which I'm in support of. This kidney design is west of the walkway, so no need for additional walkways. Alice, our concept was on both sides, east and west of the walkway, and perhaps that could still be considered. Pat, it sounds like that, well, we're all certain that you've been testing garden and these plants for years. So thank you for inviting us to view your success and how we may take that knowledge and put it in these plans. But I also, in designing a garden, I think it's also very important to remember less maintenance is important.
Yeah, that's very much so.
And so I encourage you to consider that, and perhaps we can, the committee can decide on a site and we can move forward. I do have a list of native wildflowers. Of course, my interest is to attract birds. The question that we brought up before is, we want butterflies, we want birds, but we don't want the birds to eat butterflies.
No, I don't.
They don't.
Birds eat seeds mostly, and little tiny bugs like gnats. I mean, I have bird feeders in my yard, I never saw
A
birds.
great example of your vast experience, and thank you for that comment. Thank you.
Karen,
Yeah.
where was Kevin looking at on this?
Oh, okay,
Okay,
there's,
so Kevin was looking at, excuse me. All right, this is where the bird watching station is, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so see how it has that walkway right there? He was actually looking at, I'm not tall enough.
Between the bench pad and the walkway? Just come back a little bit and use the shadow of your finger.
Okay.
so that,
Right here in this area, it's right there. in that hole.
right adjacent to the concrete picnic table
Yes,
pad.
so you wouldn't have to do so you wouldn't have to put anything there to sit in. The flower garden would be here. And the reason why they put it on this side was because Cecil told us that when it's really bad rainy season, that whole thing gets flooded.
Yeah,
So
Yes.
for us to put plants over there, they would have to coincide with what the lake can take.
mhm,
So that's why he went there.
Madam Chairman, may I make a comment?
yes, and,
That's all right.
Thank you, Charles.
So, just a minute, I have a senior moment. I have to remember what I wanted to say. Oh, yes, yeah, so that seems like a very small garden for $25,000 worth of investment, which is the grant, if we get it.
20 by 30, yeah. The-
Yeah, 25,
The actual
30.
garden will be 20 by 30. I think that's what he drew out, right?
That's what it says on the
Yeah.
top.
Did he make the assumption that what he drew out was of a value of 25 to 30,000?
No, he
No.
actually put a phase 2 in that, but didn't really want to introduce the phase 2 part because we haven't even gotten phase 1 down, so I didn't want to introduce
Well, you
it.
might as well go for Gus here.
Okay. So on
Right.
phase 2, all right, so on phase 2, these all have, on this side has all those, trees.
Cypress?
The cypress trees, right? And he said, with those cypress trees, you can plant, Liz's notes. Let me go get Liz's.
The air plants?
They're actually plants that'll help with the, grass and the water flow, like, so it wouldn't be,
Oh, I see.
so it would actually stop, but you wouldn't plant them.
In a straight line, you do
You would
zigzag.
do one here, one there, one there, you know what I mean, like you
To
would do
create a
zigzag.
canopy.
And if I go get Liz's notes,
No, so.
she was my secretary, but that, he said that would be phase 2.
I think I like phase 2.
Yeah, I think phase 2 is a nice complement to phase 1.
Yes, I think I like phase 2.
Given that oak tree, how sunny is that patch in the mornings? Keith, do you know, is it sun all day, every day?
Probably about, most of the morning till about 10:30, it's probably kind of shady.
And then midday it's shady, and then afternoon it gets sunny again. And what's the water situation for watering, not the swampy
Oh,
part?
we got a whole lake right there, we'll just give y'all a 5-gallon bucket.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's not
While
my,
you're pruning,
No, we already said we get water there, we'll get water.
yeah, like with tree sprinkler kind of thing.
Yeah,
It would be nice
yeah.
over there. Something
Oh, do you hear?
yeah, beautyberry bushes.
Beautyberry, yeah.
So along that area, he actually focused on, Kevin actually focused on this first. And then I kept telling him, no, we need this done. So, but for phase 2, we can, he actually was focused on that area first. But for phase 1, we'll do the flower garden, and for phase 2, we can do the, beauty bushes. Beautyberry bushes.
Yeah.
Or do it all at once. Or do it all at once. But, I didn't know, I can't even get past the first part, so I was about to bring up the second part, but we can do it all at once. We'll have enough money if we get full grant. So, I'm hoping that we do, and then we can
Karen?
actually do it.
Was his intention the long side of the kidney shape would nestle into that curve of the sidewalk?
Yes,
That'd be good, yeah.
yeah, so it would nestle right up in here, and then, of course, he did mention, with this big tree here, he did mention putting a park bench, those benches that you can sit and chit chat or whatever, or just enjoy the view. The beauty bushes would not even come up eye level if you were to sit down. So that's just something we can all think about, you guys can think about it, I don't know. But that
Okay,
was
so
phase 2.
what is the next step that you recommend?
That, personally, I would recommend us finding a location. If we're gonna have it there, then we can start there. That's my
What about the
recommendation.
location?
Finding a location.
And once you find the location, then you can go, all right,
Yeah.
now let's see this flower.
Yeah.
What's,
Okay,
what's the location of the grant application?
I put Lake Stella Park.
So the next step
It could
really
be
is,
anywhere.
the grant requested more information, is that correct?
Yeah, the grant expect, wanted more educational, thing. This morning they sent me an email. They wanted more educational
and,
things on it.
yeah, well, this is down the road, but the Ag Center has a wonderful plant sale every spring, and they have a lot of native plants. And that's something to keep in mind. And also, IFAS has all kinds of information about,
We plan on speaking with IFAS.
yeah. And also, J.R. Newbold grows wildflower seeds, Coreopsis in particular. And he would give us any amount of those, like late winter, early spring next year. And they're beautiful, they're random, they're not neat little patches like this, they're gonna grow. As is the milkweed, gonna self-seed and grow wherever it wants, so, you have to keep that in mind when you have these neat, because my plants grow where they wanna grow,
Karen, when do they announce the,
It's maintenance, there's a lot of maintenance involved in this.
July 15th is when it's due, if we get accepted to submit, it'll be due July 15th. The grant will go from January to December of
when do they announce if we got the grant or not?
that, I don't know.
July.
I think November.
So it's not even due until July 15th? So you haven't actually submitted yet, right?
Yeah, we haven't even asked to be submitted. We still have to be asked to submit, to submit the application.
Oh, they
This
just want
was
more
just-
information to make
This
that
was just on
determination.
the LOI, yeah, this is just on the letter.
So if we do not get the grant, we're dead in the water, right?
I was just wondering how it-
Okay, I'm still in the confusion state here, but I sometimes am because I can't hear, but, and I get my new hearing aids next week, everybody will be so relieved. But you said deciding on the location. At one time, you mentioned a possibility in Sunrise Park. Is that still a possibility?
Anything's a possibility.
I'm sorry, what?
Anything's a possibility.
Okay.
So it's just, we have to decide on the actual,
Yes, so, and it was gonna be up near the utility building that the city owns, you thought was, because it has water.
well, this will have water too. I did speak to Keith about putting sprinkler system into that design. So the sprinkler system will be in there.
So if
We don't have
we,
to carry 5-gallon buckets.
if we as a committee are going to make any decisions about this, maybe what we ought to do in the next month is go look at both sites and see if you find even a better site, or one that you want to add to the consideration. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Everybody's pretty much lives in town, it shouldn't be.
Well, I believe that what happened, I think you were out for that meeting. Ms. McCoy came up and made a pitch for Lake Stella to be in cooperation with Rotary's efforts for the Monarch. So I think that's when it switched back to Lake Stella instead of being over at Sunrise Park. Isn't that how it
That's
happened?
correct.
So there was a
Yeah,
consensus, I think it was a meeting you were out, there was a consensus to move it back to Sunrise, or
Oh, okay,
Lake Stella
yeah.
Park.
Okay, well, it's to not use Sunrise.
Correct, I believe, so it's a combination of Rotary, Audubon, and the tree board, and we were shooting for Lake Stella Park.
Okay,
One of the concerns of Sunrise
It'd be
is
hot,
that
hot.
within the long-range plan, there's, one of the concerns about Sunrise is with the long-range plan, there's a lot of activity and development there. So it's highly likely that any garden there would have to be relocated at a later date for better use of that area.
yeah, okay. Well, so, we're looking and seeing if we have any thoughts about it after walking there. I walk there every night just about. And it's hot, I tell you, this time of year, it's hot and dry over there. Grass is crunchy.
A meeting or two ago, the committee was asked to look at these various sites within the city. So that request has already been made. I can't remember if it was the last meeting or the meeting prior.
Yeah, I
You
missed
remember,
those.
Karen?
There's 2 meetings ahead.
2 meetings. Yes.
Okay. So are we good with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the direction is, we're gonna bring back a better image with a list of the plants recommended for you to consider and make changes if you desire, on both the layout and the plant selection. And then probably not until your July meeting, well, you may know by June if we've been invited to apply. for
Yeah,
that
well, no,
grant.
by June, but if we're invited, June 15th, I'll know by June 15th
And Kevin and Sean they want to help us free of no charge because they have gone as far as they can go and use this. And they see what a gem we have here in this town, and they applaud us for taking this on, so they are behind us 100%.
You know, there are lists of which butterflies like which flowers for nectar, and which plants for the larva to eat. So we should have those in consideration.
Sure. And what I found just in the work I'm doing, sometimes you have to take what you can get, what's available
Yeah,
for purchase.
yeah, I'm giving some. Believe me, you got fire bushes in the city planting somewhere. Yeah, and your lantana's done really well. Where you put that.
In the pots, yeah, here on the city, this little wall, it's all died, it looks like. I think it died here on the little wall that's next to City Hall.
It did,
Yeah, it looks like it.
yeah. Okay, Dan, you got something else to say?
Yes, the Audubon Society just put in a native garden in St. Augustine at the Visitor Center. So and I'll bring you a list of what we were able to buy in the local market. Because our wish list, not all the items were available. So I can update you with what we were able to get. And probably the pricing too, and hopefully a wholesaler.
Do you know where it is in St. Augustine?
At the Visitor Center,
Okay.
across from Ripley's, believe it or not.
No, I don't.
Yeah, the old hotel.
Yeah. Yeah, where you get the trolley thing.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that'd be a fun trip.
Great.
I was gonna ask you, Karen, he also suggested the interactive, smaller
Yes,
for the children, education, touch, feel, and eat.
yeah,
Edible plants, touching plants, and smell plants
yeah, smell, touch, and eat
for education.
for education. So with this kidney being, there would be like 3 little ones with a touch, a smell, and an eat, for educational use for the children. So that, I don't know, it's not drawn out here, but, that's what they suggested as well. So that it's the education for everybody would fall underneath that. But
Nice. Great. Thank you for thinking of future this. Okay, general discussion, I think we're on to here, about trees. And I don't know what it is about trees. It says bark and eucalyptus and magnolia. Is that Keith's concern?
That was the ones we talked about at the last meeting. There was one over here on Park by the elementary school, which the school board done cut it down. It was a live oak that got hit by lightning and it killed it dead. The one on Park and Eucalyptus, a big limb fell off of it. We need to figure out if we need to cut the tree down or try to prune it. There's one on Magnolia in East Grand Rondo. It's a big, huge water oak, and the whole top of it is gone. There's a big old rotten stalk sticking up.
There's one in front of Liz's house that's half dead, that needs taken down too. Not the whole tree, but half the dead half. Well, we have to go look at those. All we can do is recommend, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I wanna go on record with saying I had Mr. Sokow come, and he cut my limbs that were hanging over oleander brutally, pulled all the woodbine, Virginia creeper out, and the moss out, and for $2,200, my street is now safe. So, It's costly.
Yeah,
Yeah. So what do you want us to do? Go look at those trees, make a recommendation next month?
yes, ma'am, that would be nice.
Okay.
Especially the one on Magnolia.
Remember, Magnolia and Gray Rondo,
Yes, ma'am.
is it right on the corner?
It's right on the corner, right there by where the speed bumps are at.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's
Okay.
on the, south side of Magnolia in front of that house right there. In between the sidewalk and the asphalt. It's big.
What was that?
Are we supposed to get an arborist to look at stuff that's that large? I was looking
This
for that.
tree here is a water oak. And I personally don't wanna waste the money on an arborist to look at that. tree.
Yeah, it's,
Now, if it was a live oak, it's a different story, but it's
yeah,
it's probably hollow inside, to be honest with you.
and that's a very heavily treed lot there, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am, there is the people that live in that house have some live oaks scattered around.
Yeah,
But and it's also where that big camphor tree is, right there by the speed bumps.
yeah.
I have a question about the tree that's at Park Eucalyptus. Is it the one on the southwest? There's 3 trees
Be
in that.
on the northwest corner,
Northwest.
where they're remodeling.
There's a lot of limbs in one of those yards. It's not that yard.
Yeah, that's the one that the limb fell, they cut it up, somebody cut it up. I don't know if we cleaned the limb up yet, but somebody made a recommendation that it be cut down, but it
It's
is,
not a tree in that yard, and it's the other side. It's the north.
it's the
That's on the south
northwest
side.
corner, it's on the south side of Eucalyptus, on the west side of Park, where they're remodeling that house that, Naomi Gautier lived in. That Charlie Lane bought.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
one they're remodeling, it's right there on that corner.
They cut something down. There's been lots and lots of limbs piled up there. But we'll look at it. Speaking of trees, I have to pass on this concern from Michael Frank, that he feels the magnolia trees between, Wendy's and Winn-Dixie in that pretty landscaped area, which currently have a Christmas tree shape, to be pruned up so the mowing people can go under them.
He's expressed that many, many times.
I know,
I disagree with him.
I do too. Yes, I would say, yeah, they're beautiful, conical shaped trees, and that's what magnolias are supposed to look like. And I'm friends with one of the city, mowers, and he says it's not a problem. Not a problem, you can weed if you need to, but stuff doesn't grow really under low magnolia limbs. So I brought it up, it should go on record. So I'm gonna hear about it again, I'm sure.
He said, nope.
Okay, is everybody cool with that? We recommend that the magnolias be left alone. Okay, unless they're, need dead stuff cut off. Anything else? Anybody got any concerns or issues?
Mr. Harris, you mentioned that, you were going to check the trees on South Prospect. There were many trees that were
Oh, yeah.
need of repair. Am I correct in my old thinking?
South Prospect,
Are you thinking of Lisa's letter?
Maybe it was Laurel Prospect.
Doesn't ring a bell.
yeah, it doesn't ring a bell, I mean, most of them are, the trees are live oaks on South Prospect. Most of them. And they're the only one that looks bad is that one where, the Swansons used to live. That big 2-story house that burnt down. That's the only one there that really looked bad. There's a couple cedar trees. But I don't remember any recommendations or saying we needed to look at something about cutting them down.
Lucy DeVito's email mentions, South Prospect. Number 13 in her email. Her email of April 17th talks about the east side of the 400 block, city removed several dead or diseased oaks in the right of way, which posed a danger. After the tree board requested evaluation by an arborist with loss of shade and wildlife habitat, at least 2 homeowners have had very large oak trees removed without permit. These are just things that she was saying that she'd like for the tree and garden board to look at and address. And I don't know whether y'all have addressed that email or not.
Rhonda, excuse me, I didn't hear the exact location of those trees.
Right.
You have any?
Like,
It's the east side of the 400 block of South Prospect.
okay,
Let me write it down. It's number 13 in Lisa's email.
500 blocks.
No,
Maybe that's what you're going to watch.
right,
Okay.
it's coming to me now, it's,
Are they removed?
These are suggestions.
on that side of the road, we had
This
cut
says
that out.
city removes accidental disease.
One of them was a real alive, I'm pretty sure it was a live tree, but it was shot.
And several, 2 homeowners and very large oak trees removed without a permit.
Do something, but there's utilities
But
there.
she wouldn't be talking about those being looked at,
No,
or they are.
We plan to hold this for.
Oh, okay.
Where she's actually talking about is the house that's, it's across the street from where Wade King used to live.
Uh-huh.
It's that across the street. On the east side, on Lake Crescent side, there used to be, pretty sure it was 1 live oak or maybe 2, but I think it was 1. We cut it down because it was, I mean, the hurricane from years ago destroyed it, and the tree was dying back, so we cut it down. And, because they're right just up from it, not 30 feet is a big live oak. So I don't really know why we would wanna put a tree there.
Are there any utilities under the property there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's an issue every time there's a replacement. And also, you know, the plant of oak tree under wires is gonna have to be notched or something horrible. Yeah, so I think the whole issue of replacement is, something we probably need to study about and discuss with the person who has control of the purse strings when it comes to buying trees. I don't know what a live oak sampling costs these days, but
Well, the live oaks we bought for the Arbor Day were about $100, very inexpensive.
yeah. How are those doing?
Pretty good, we had some vandalism, one of them, I think jumped on the tree and bent it over, so we had to put it back up, but the other
Did
2,
it break?
no, it did not, but they seem to be doing well.
Those are in Harry Banks Park, in case y'all don't know. I'll be darned, well, but they're getting watered, right?
They're surviving,
And I was told that Cynthia Wheeler and her children have been watering daily the tree in Dexter Park. Is that right?
Not
Fletcher.
Dexter Park, Fletcher Park,
Fletcher, I get that name.
but they're also doing Harry Banks as well.
They what?
Harry Banks as well. They're doing the
Yeah,
two
she's
trees.
working on,
Oh, okay, because, yeah, she lives in that area.
yeah, she agreed to do that when she was still on the board.
Uh-huh.
And as far as I know, she's still doing it.
She's still doing
Well, I'd like to write her a thank you letter about that, or give her some recognition for doing that. I know she homeschools her kids, and that's kind of like a community service project for them. But that's a real service, because as we all know, if they don't water them, they don't thrive. So, Karen, I'll get together with you, and maybe we can draft a letter.
Sure.
Okay, on city letterhead is what I'm thinking. Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's just a really great thing they're doing. Okay,
I have a question, since this reminded me, remove trees without a permit, what is the permitting process? Because I've never heard of it, except in our gas bill, water bill, it said that you need to get a permit.
To remove.
Right, there was nothing, I mean, I moved here and the person that sold me the house had a bunch of trees removed, like,
Well, a lot
without
of
a
people,
permit, no one knows.
yeah, they'll go through and do it. I mean, it's been an ordinance forever that you're supposed to get a permit.
Do the tree companies
Anything
know
4 foot, anything 4 foot and above, or 4 foot and 28 inches is considered a heritage tree.
yeah,
So any of these smaller trees, they can just remove.
You know, anything below that, you know, kind of, they can cut them down.
that without a permit then?
yeah. I would like to see, when they get their gas or city services turned on, they are given a copy of the tree ordinance,
That'd be awesome.
you know? But otherwise, they proceed in ignorance, they, you know, especially if they're gonna build. You know, is they've gotta clear some land. Yeah, the issue of having some teeth in the ordinance is one that bothers me. You know, unless there's a fine or you know in advance that you have to have permission, then nobody's gonna do it. You know, they're gonna go ahead and
Mhm.
clear their land. So if we could do, we could make a bunch of copies of the ordinance, not that we have a lot of houses being built, but there will be, and you know, moonshine, whatever down there, they cut down every tree they could.
They kept the live oaks, though, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe they kept the live oaks and designed their design around them.
Yeah, they cut everything out in the middle, left a few around the edge.
Because a lot of them were just live oaks and.
Yeah,
Something that,
anyway, that's a concern. Thank you for asking. Okay, is there anything else? 3 o'clock? We made it?
You set the date for
Next meeting? Okay, yeah, that's right, we don't have to be at the same time. Karen, you got a calendar?
Yep.
You want to suggest a June date? And we don't have to meet at 2 because we don't have Cynthia.
The meeting would be, it would fall on June 27th.
June 27th. Okay, you want to keep 2 o'clock, everybody?
Yes.
Do we wanna go look at the trees?
Now or later?
No, on that day, do we wanna look at the trees?
That'd be good.
It would be
Yeah.
better if you guys
That
went
would be
down on your
here.
own. It would be better if you guys went and looked at them on your own. That way you can come back on the 27th.
Yeah, okay, everybody do it personally. Okay.
Looking at which trees, the ones that,
Um,
eucalyptus and park and.
Yeah.
Yeah, Magnolia.
Yeah. You got their locations?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, things are happening, exciting. Are we ready to adjourn?
Yes.
Okay. The tree garden board is adjourned at 3:04. Thank you, Karen, for all your help.